Podcast.
And so our watch has ended. Welcome to the Popcornography podcast, a special Game of Thrones one. We've just finished watching the very last episode, season 8. I'm Rick Masters.
Graeme Baldock.
John Lapworth.
And yeah, firstly, what I wanted to do is just quickly go over that last episode and what we thought of it. Did it live up to the enormous hype? And then we'll go over the series, the franchise as a whole, and what made it stand out from the rest, I guess. Graham's our master of knowledge. He knows a lot about Game of Thrones. I only know that because we're doing a predictor at work and he's smashing it. He's like Bran, I reckon. He knew everything already before it even began. And then we've got John, who's as far from Jon Snow as you can get.
Wow.
Wow. That's why I didn't go for the predictor.
No, yeah. Do you think you would have been close?
No, not at all.
No,
not even close.
I'll be honest. From when the season before beginning of season 8, I thought it was going to play out completely differently to how it has. And we'll touch on expectations and what you wanted from it. But I think I'm not disappointed.
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed one bit. Not one bit. Not with the storyline.
Right.
How it was done, I am.
Yeah.
But with the storyline, I'm not.
Well, I mean, straight away, and I think everyone I've talked to about this has agreed that this season feels very rushed. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest though, I felt that last season. There's a very quick change of pace from season 6 to season 7.
There is, and I think most of that's down to the fact that they ran out of wrote material. So a lot of it was kind of like, hang on, this story's actually finished in the book, and we finished this in season 5. Yeah. Where do we go with this character? And they've got to build all those characters into this season so they play a part. Otherwise, it's pointless. Those characters continue; they might as well just fade away or be killed off previous. And I think HBO writers had to get to a point where they sat down and went, right, we know what we've got for season 7. We know what the story tells us. Yeah. But what we don't know is anything beyond that. So how do we want it to end, but then work that back? Mm-hmm. How do we get those people into... And the other thing is, with it being the last one ever, they've got to build as many people in as they want, because if you're a fan of Bran, if you're a fan of Arya, if you're a fan of Cersei, Dany, whoever, they want as many people. If you wiped Dany out in season 7, then you're losing all your Dany fans. And they're going to, I don't know. I think, I agree. It's rushed, very rushed. And I think this episode sums that up. Yeah. 1 minute, 1 minute Jon's stabbing her, and then the next minute everyone's at a gathering. Like, granted, I don't want to see everyone's travel there, but throw something in that gap there.
Because it starts very slow, doesn't it? Yeah. Tyrion's just walking through. Oh, by the way, spoilers. The Tyrion's everyone's watching. Tyrion walking through the city and it it just took its sweet ass time. And I'm thinking, you have so much to tie up in this episode. This is ridiculous.
Like I said to you when we were watching it, we're half an hour in, and nothing's really happened. A few bits of dialogue that kind of led up to the events, but nothing's really happened.
Right.
I would have wanted it almost felt like they've gone, oh crap, hang on, we're at the start of episode 6. We've only got 50 minutes worth of material, but we scheduled it an hour and 20. How can we draw this out a bit? Where if the whole season had been drawn out, that little bit extra details here and there.
I don't know. The thing is, if you're watching them straight one after another, you've had all that battle from the last episode. You need that bit of breather, and you need to kind of take in what's just happened. So, but at the same time, because we've waited all week and we're wanting answers, this is the final. I think I was like, come on, I need to know what's going on here. there's a few characters that I feel like I was let down with. Bran, for example. Bran, like...
I agree.
It was built up all this time, like, but we still don't entirely know what all that is. He said there, that's why I've come all this way.
Yeah.
He obviously knew this was going to happen. He planned it all out, but like, I still don't get him.
There's so many questions being raised from this season about Bran. None's been answered. Like, what was he doing with Battle of Winter? Yeah. He used his 3-eye sight and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like,
what was he up to?
Yeah. Like, I don't... Like, there's so many... For me, there's still too many questions.
He needed a lot more fleshing out. I'll touch on a few things. We're going to go over the last episode first. Like, John, were you happy with how that played out? Are you content? Do you feel like you got everything from 8 seasons of building up?
Yes and no. I mean, Game of Thrones, from the very first episode to now, which, bearing in mind, you absolutely caned me every time I didn't watch it until now. It's been phenomenal. It really has. I expected a bit more action, maybe.
In the last episode?
Last episode, yes. I mean, yes, but obviously, like you say, we got dialogue, we got certain questions answered, there were certain surprises. But I expected just a tad more action, maybe.
It was tense, though, wasn't it?
It was tense. It was tense, yes.
To the final conclusion with Jon and Daenerys. I was sat there thinking, like, because it's Game of Thrones... Yeah. That was actually the way I thought it was going to play out, but because it's Game of Thrones, you sat there thinking it could go any way.
It could go in any direction. When you saw somebody stabbed...
Yeah.
And the way that they both like played off each other, you're thinking, who the frig is that?
Yeah, well, that's it. I asked when we were watching it, who stabbed who here? Yeah. You can't tell. Both facial expressions changed, and you go, hang on a second, like, oh, hang on, it's Jon, and then you kind of look and you go, actually, there's something in Danny, and then you just didn't know until they actually went, until her face started changing, like, shit, he's done it.
But yeah, the turmoil he had. Was that the right thing to do? I'm sat there thinking, was that I felt how he felt. Was that the right thing to do? She has liberated.
It's a very hard one to answer.
So many countries, like, lands from slavery and stuff.
She has previously. This season, and this episode,
she was starting to turn.
This episode, you saw that Mad Queen starting to come out.
Yeah.
You know, when she was giving the Dothraki and the Unsullied the speech.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't one to go and actually draw it like, ease up a bit, lads. We'll just go around, we'll make sure everyone's alright. She was going for vengeance. Next kingdom.
Yeah, like what Tyrion said. Does that sound like a queen who's gonna like back down? Who's gonna do what you've just said there? Settle off a little. No,
not one bit.
No, not at all. She gave that speech as though, right, this is only the beginning.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think what you're saying, going back to what you're saying there about the turmoil, that bit was brilliantly written. That whole scene with Tyrion beforehand, when 1 minute you see Jon's Tyrion,
she's my queen,
Danny, Tyrion, and you're like, and he leaves that room, and even then, you still don't know which side he's falling.
That is good writing, because I felt writing. The same way as he did.
Yeah, because for me, I'm like for me, in my head, it was the right thing to do. But once you started singing that, and Jon started kind of singing Danny's side, you kind of go, oh yeah. And then Tyrion's like, and you're like, all right, yeah. It's almost like that angel and devil on your shoulder type thing.
Yeah.
You're listening to both, and you're like, oh, I'm going to say, actually, no, I'm not.
It broke my heart though, because just thinking back to how she's talking when she's in that throne room, and there's a little bit of the old Dany coming back, and you like her again. She's talking about how she could only count to 20 and stuff, and it was just like, and then she was asking him. She'd decided, let's do this together, because she was umming and ahhing about that. You could tell he was the biggest threat to her, and there was that risk that she was going to kill him. But then in that room, straight away, that risk went. You thought, no, she does love him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then for him to kill her, like, it hurt a little bit, but then you just got to remember what she did in the last episode.
Yeah. I mean, by God, she didn't have to go for it. I mean, men, women and children. She just didn't care, did she?
No.
That was it.
No.
To be honest, you kind of get where she's coming from.
Yeah, 100%. She lost everything.
And when obviously snapped, saw red.
And without her, there would be nothing to fight for anyway, because Cersei and the White Walkers, they wouldn't have won that battle.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It was her army that would.
What I found a bit strange was when you had the Unsullied commander.
Grey.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and Tyrion walking towards, obviously the lot of them on that decking. But we didn't know Jon Snow was a prisoner.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I just got.
Yeah.
She's dead. Okay, fine, fair enough. And then you get to find out that he's a prisoner. Then it's like, oh right, okay.
Yeah, I think if anyone had walked into that room after that, he would have been instantly killed, wouldn't he? They've just killed the queen.
Yeah. See, I like, and I don't know whether you picked up on the symbolism of the throne being melted.
Yeah. Well, when you said I like that.
Yeah. Because it's the end of the Targaryen kind of line. It's the end of the house, like Targaryen house, and obviously the throne's made up of Aegon's enemies' swords. Well, there's no Aegon Targaryen story now. The house has disappeared, so it's kind of melting that out, and it kind of starts. It goes back. Funny enough, it goes back to what Danny was saying about breaking that wheel and starting afresh.
Yeah.
By melting that, it has. Yeah. There's no Iron Throne. That whole thing, and then the whole thing of electing a leader. You know, it was. I love that bit. That symbolism bit. It kind of. It shows that point in the episode and that point in the whole story is where things turn. Yeah. Throne's gone. New ways of doing things left, right and centre. Mm-hmm.
Here's a question. Do you think there'll be a spin-off?
Well, they're already filming an origin thing of the White Walkers and stuff.
Oh, are they?
Which is I can't wait for it. Anything Game of Thrones, I'll take all that. But at the same time, that's the biggest disappointment for season 8 in my eyes. So overall, I quite enjoyed that episode. It was, and I don't think they could have done it many other ways. I think with being Game of Thrones, you just wanting a little bit more of a twist, maybe, or something to kind of surprise you. But it got to that point when so many people are thinking of theories and stuff.
Is that not good writing? Yep. Where going into this season, you're like, right, we know there's going to be twists coming. Look at the predictor you've done, right? Yeah. How many people have predicted everyone's going to die? Or this many people died, this many people turn White Walkers. When actually, the writers have sat back and going, hang on, like, there's all these theories about they're going to do this, they're going to do this, you're going to turn, you're dead. Let's just make it a bit rein it in, because even when they do a reined in version of like Battle of Winterfell, you expected loads of people to die.
Yeah.
A few minor characters did.
Right.
I agree. Yeah, I was expecting a lot more body count. Yeah. Of real main characters. Yeah, but there wasn't.
No, and maybe that's the cleverness of the writing. When they've sat back and gone, do you know what? They're expecting this. Let's rein it in, guys. And then you go, whoa, hang on a second. Like I did after the Battle of Winterfell, was like, oh, hang on a second, hey, what's going on? Like, you can't have all these people alive. And the amount of people that are alive at the end of this episode, I know on my predictor sheet I didn't get half of them. I thought half of these were dead. And I'm sure loads of people did, because it's Game of Thrones. You can't. You don't expect your characters to be alive at the end. Yeah. You expect it to come from left field, where someone who was featuring a clip once is in the throne.
So I go off this episode, but what I was trying to say then is where I'm most disappointed is with Winter and the White Walkers and the.
Tell you what, I wish they could have actually done that a bit lighter. On the telly.
Everyone's.
I get the one that did dark. I get the one that did dark, but there was no need for that dark.
Yeah. Gee, you couldn't see it. Yeah. You couldn't have bloody see it. Spoiled it, but I mean.
But for you to wait an entire 8 seasons and it all boiled down to one episode.
Yeah.
That should have been an entire season. This should have been 10 seasons total, right? And HBO wanted that. HBO would have happily had a full 10 seasons.
Yeah.
The writers. I'd had enough, but you got to be. to be fair on them, they've been working on it for, 9 years
10
now?
years.
10 years,
but
yeah.
bloody
the
while.
year before. They've been working on it for a long, long time. They've got new jobs. They're doing the new Star Wars trilogy, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So they wanted to move on, and you couldn't have passed it on to other writers and stuff. And so I get it. But as a massive fan of the show, I wanted it to be... I'd have much preferred them to have taken more time, had more character moments, and had winter as a much bigger thing than it was that it ended up being.
Yeah.
Do you know what else I found this season is the endings of the episodes tied up a story. Look back at seasons 2, 3, 4, not so much 1, but 2, 3, 4. The episode left you on a cliffhanger as what was happening next time. If they'd ended Battle of Winterfell as Theon was stood defending Bran and the Night King comes in, everybody's going like, oh my god, I want next week.
Yeah.
The way they ended it, you kind of go,
Yeah.
right, okay, that's that bit done with.
You're right.
It just feels that those...
There wasn't many cliffhangers, was there?
No. There wasn't any. The biggest one was 2 into 3 where you were waiting, now the Night King arrived, you're like, here we go.
Yeah.
But people expected that.
Yeah, well, that's right. Seasons 1 through to 6 were done as like a TV series type thing, and then I believe 7 and 8 are more like Hollywood little mini movies.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell the difference between, like, hugely. It's just all action. The amount of money pumped into the CGI and stuff like that it completely changes. There was maybe 3 or 4 moments in one episode which would have been in like an entire season climax moment, like previously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have preferred an entire season for winter. I'd have preferred an entire season building up to the King's Landing thing.
I honestly don't think you need to stretch a full season for winter.
Do you not? We've waited
more than one. I know what you're saying.
More than one episode. And they should have been pushed back, like from castle to castle, and maybe have Cersei be on one side and them at the other, and like really kind of make it into more.
Yeah, you can argue that gets a bit samey, but the details was left out. The Dothraki charge, yes, it was impactful seeing all those lights go out, but let's run in with those Dothraki. Let's run in with those and let's see a bit of Dothraki and White Walker fighting.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be the best. They're best in the field, unbeatable in the field. Yeah. So I get why they sent them in, and then they all just get. It shows the power.
And it totally, and I get that bit, but I just wanted it should have been drawn out 2 episodes at least, I reckon.
What I like with some of the characters as well, with Theon, with Jaime Lannister, how they actually were like bastards to start off with,
and then
you actually kind of grew. I mean,
100%.
to feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
With his hand chopped off and what have you, and then you
And
actually
I still
grew to
kind
love
of
them,
felt sorry for
and you
them.
kind of like wanted to be behind them when they were in fights, when they were near death and what have you, hoping that they wouldn't actually die. Although to begin with, you wanted them to die because you hated them that much. I mean, that's how clever, clever writers, and obviously, I mean, actors as well. They've got to portray it on the screen and what have you, but. It's a clever way of doing it.
I would argue that Jaime is one of the most complete characters.
Yeah.
You've done
definitely.
a full circle.
Yeah.
It's right at the start, you hate him. He's an absolute a-hole.
Even this time in that last episode where she's writing the story about him, and what we hear nothing about Cersei. Nothing. You just see a line there dead.
Yeah.
They kind of just went...
And with Jaime, obviously, you go through the bad, and then when he defends Brienne, you kind of go, oh, hang on, he's got a softer side. And then the softer guy comes in, and then the whole bit with Brienne, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Did you feel that was fan service, that relationship bit? Because there was a lot of criticism that he's gone back, done that, just to please the fans and then for him to bugger off back.
No. I think it was done as part of that story.
Right.
Because if you think, if he'd just gone away, you kind of go, alright, I know where he's going. Whereas this is one of those typical Game of Thrones twists where you're like, oh my god, he's in love with Brienne, it's going to be great. And then he goes and you're like, no, he's going to go kill Cersei. And then when he doesn't, you're like, you absolute a-hole. Everyone loved Brienne. Everyone loved Brienne. Yeah. And for him to go from really good, really nice, so actually he's getting really nice, oh my god, he might actually love her here. No, he's just walked away from her, and he's gone back to Cersei. And
you're right. I thought there could have been a twist there. I thought, a lot of people thought he might kill Cersei, and so when he decided to go back, I was like, nah, it's all a ploy. They're trying to trick us here and stuff. But like, if you do think about it, he always loved her.
Oh,
even though he knew she was rotten, he always loved her.
Yeah.
And I think I quite like the way that played out.
Here's a question.
As bad as I feel for Brienne.
Were you surprised the way they died?
I thought
Cersei and Jaime?
it was a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was.
I thought it was an
Yeah, I wasn't.
In terms of
expecting
surprised
it.
about how they died, no, it's Game of Thrones, you know.
Yeah, true.
But in terms of how they did it, yeah, I'm let down because that story could have been ended so many more ways.
Yeah.
Massively.
Even just heard him
massively.
stood on that balcony, Jaime getting in that room and the dragon coming down, or that would have been something a bit more epic than just a bit of rubble landing on.
I mean, obviously, I knew that they were going to die. I knew Jaime and Cersei were going to basically pop the clogs at one point, but I wasn't expecting to go in the way that they did. And that was surprising, like you say, a bit disappointing.
I think it was the nice bit about it was they both died how they would have wanted together.
Yeah.
Because Cersei loved Jaime loves Cersei, great. But let's do it better, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
go out fighting or
go out
something.
fighting or go out jumping out the window in the keep. Do you know what I mean? That kind of go, hang on a second, like the whole like Tyrion thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Tyrion. Joffrey thing. You kind of go,
God.
you know, hang on, this is, oh my god, yeah. Like, the thing, another character, the another ending that disappointed was Varys.
Right.
Like, okay, he got torched alive, but that whole thing at the start of last episode was just, to me, pointless. That bit where he's interacting with the little girl who's working in the kitchen.
Well, she's talking about poisoning food and stuff.
Yeah, and then he takes his rings off and you're like, oh my god, like, is he going to point? Like, and I get it, it's kind of like another builder for episode 8, but you kind of go, really?
Yeah.
This whole series is just kind of, so many times it just left me wanting more.
Or they skip little bits.
Yeah.
Like, you'll just jump to Jaime being captured by her.
Yeah.
Well, previously, you'd have had that scene where he gets captured.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And end like that. Or
Instead of
something
just
like
thrown
that.
in.
Just going, oh, he got captured. Just catch up, guys. That's
Yeah.
what rushing it is. It's just kind of hoping that the audience
the
just play
difference
along with you.
between Jon Snow stabbing Dany and then the meeting in tonight's episode.
Yeah.
You're like, come on, guys. Like, I don't want to see Bran getting wheeled however many thousand miles it is, but I do want to see what's that, like, how does Jon get discovered? Because I'm pretty sure he doesn't just go walk out. By the way, I stabbed Dany.
It doesn't work, does it? If you're watching them all from season 1 to 8, you spend an entire season watching Arya and the Hound going from one place to another. An entire season.
Yeah.
And now they're from one part of the country to the other in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
It's just like, it loses you a bit. But it's definitely... Season 7 pulled in a lot of fans, though, the way they did it.
Yeah.
In the kind of little blockbuster, big fire special effects things. That pulled them fans in.
Yeah.
And so I kind of get why you have these two conflicting audiences. You've got the ones who want the action and just they don't want these slow scenes with the conversations and the expanding of the lore and all that kind of stuff. They just want to see things burn.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to please everybody, isn't it? It's
It
impossible
is.
to please.
It is.
It is.
And
Of course it is.
like, for me, I'm like, I love the kind of like the intricacies of the storytelling.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, the action's pretty cool,
Yeah.
but
The action means more after you've been through these slow moments. When
totally.
they happen, you're like,
Totally.
good, but then you become a little bit numb to it if it's all the time.
Typical example: end of Winterfell battle, the whole Night King Bran thing. Like, I sat there on my couch watching that, and in that 3 minutes, I went through. Oh, for God's sake, no! Come on, there's got to be, like, something's got to happen.
Yeah.
And then he gets close, and like,
And then something's
oh
going
no,
to
hang
happen.
on, he's actually going to get Bran.
It's going to mean something.
He's going to get something. And
Yeah.
then the look between them, I'm like, oh my god, Bran's
can
actually
talk.
controlling him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and then like and you kind of like, I can feel it now, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
I was
like,
exactly the same.
And then when I comes over, I'm like, and she grabs her, and I'm like, oh my god, no, not I.
Yeah.
And then when you see, like, you just hear the blade. You don't even see it, do you? You just hear the blade drop, and you see his face change. You're like, and I literally sat on my chair, gobsmacked for about 5 minutes, going, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, and I rewatched that bit 4 times before I stopped the episode, because I'm like, how does it happen? Like, that for me is a great bit of writing. But
in your mind though, you're going to create
Yes, that's
something maybe a bit better. Like
Totally.
in your head, you wanted them to talk and then develop Bran, and you go, oh my god, that explains this and this and this and
Yes.
this, and you don't get that.
No, that's it. And this season, and I get it's the final season, and it's not the time for character development. That's the previous 7 seasons.
Yeah.
But I still want, as we said earlier, there's so many questions I have about Bran now.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, hang on. No. Stop.
No.
Stop where you are.
We're not going to find out now.
I want to know I want to know this, and this.
What can he see? I mean, how does this work? What?
Well, it's not the point,
Because
though.
he can see the
Isn't that the
future, though,
point?
can't he? So
Yeah.
Isn't that the point? Like, that particular character development to leave you asking more questions than actually
Yeah, but it annoys
answering
me.
more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It-
I
don't
agree.
want to
Do you know?
know.
Obviously he's a mysterious character that we're never going to find out. Unfortunately,
he's not a guy you want at a party, is he?
oh, he's bland as. I'm not going to
Stop
swear.
We're all gonna die. We haven't got time for this music and fun.
I,
Oh my god.
absolute
I like
guilt.
the character as it is, but I just think he could have been so much more mysterious yet answering questions and more likable. Imagine what they could have done with him.
I know.
Like, he could have done so much this season.
He even hints at it when he goes, "Do you know where the whereabouts of Drogon?" And he went, "Well, maybe I'll find him myself."
Yeah.
So what does that mean? He can walk. What is it? Warg? Whatever the fuck he does.
3-eye.
Like the dragon. Do you
Yeah.
know, like, can he do that? Like, and then you think, did he maybe control a dragon when he
No.
burnt the
No.
throne?
No. I don't think he can control a dragon. But,
That would have been interesting though. If you
It
see
would,
the
yeah.
dragon get controlled by him, saves Jon.
yeah, this is the thing, right? So this whole thing with the white horse at the end, right? With Arya.
Yeah, nothing happened. All these theories,
Exactly.
and then
And
nothing.
the theory that it's Bran controlling the white horse to keep save her. And I bought into that big time.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, like that makes sense. He's prophesied previously about the
Yeah.
white horse.
Yeah.
And I thought, after episode 7, I was like, 5, sorry, I was like, oh my god. And I text you saying, my theory, I've called it since the start, Arya's going to kill Daenerys.
Yeah.
The white horse, the fact she was practicing with a bow,
Yeah.
Bran's previously prophesied that the Mad Queen is going to be killed by someone riding a white horse shooting a bow. I'm like, I have got this nailed on.
Yeah.
Like, here
Yeah.
we go, guys. And I was ready to go, yes, see you all, I got it right. And then they kind of go, oh, there's Arya, where's the horse?
Yeah, after killing the Night King, she just
Yeah.
became nothing really. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did kill the Night King, and I think
She-
if she killed Cersei or Daenerys, you'd have been a bit like, right, she's just killing. Like, do you know what I mean? She'd be too. Oh,
I've got
Too much of a warrior.
See, I've got more questions about her as well.
I think we might get them answered because I reckon she's getting a spin-off. Like,
Oh, that ending.
it looked
she's
like
got
it,
to.
didn't it?
Yeah, it does kind of open it out, doesn't it? I mean, the way she's put it forward, the end of the map stops certain places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, it just does.
But for me, the big one is when Melisandre said about her killing the different coloured eyes.
Yeah.
Green eyes, brown eyes, blue eyes. You kill green, you kill brown.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue. And I'm like, oh my god. Now,
Who had that? Because you said she still
Daenerys
had
had
someone to
blue
kill,
eyes.
but she was dead at this point when you
yes.
said she still got
And this is
someone.
this is what I'm trying to think.
Right.
Who's got the blue eyes? It's
That was the
almost-
green eyes because the blue eyes were
Sorry,
the
yes,
walker. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, the
Night
blue,
King.
green eye. So I'm like, hang on, like somebody. This is I
Both
said
did.
it, didn't I? Like, this isn't done. She's not done
Right.
because why? That's now taking it. If that goes into spin-off, and she kills someone with green eyes in the spin-off, you're like, no,
Yeah.
no, HBO. This was part of Game of Thrones.
However,
not Arya
that
the
green eyes
Explorer.
could have been anyone she's killed at any point prior, though.
Could be, but
Any
the
just
brown eyes and blue eyes are
Tom,
big main
Dick,
characters, aren't they?
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. And there was so many theories over it. And
It's not like saying, oh,
Dany
brown
has
eyes
green eyes.
Yeah.
Cersei had green eyes.
Yeah, brown eyes is a main character. Blue's a main character. Green eyes is just some
Yeah.
random guy in the street that you
Yeah, it doesn't
sliced
make
or
sense, does it?
pushed into the river and he got eaten by a shark or something like that.
You're right.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like answer if you're going to do these theories,
Yeah, no.
and I get it, it's that many loose endings going into episode 6. That it could happen everywhere and everyone had different thoughts. Maybe that's the clever part. Or maybe it's like we were saying earlier, tie some of those loose ends up.
I think that's the problem, right? Because we've just finished watching it. There's going to be little things that are going to pop up, and you're going to be like, hang on a minute, hang on. Like, or even when you were rewatching, you're going to go, that didn't play out the way I think they probably planned, or how maybe George had originally planned it.
Would you ever go back to the original and
I
just
fully intend to start.
Yeah, I actually
start again?
As of tomorrow, I am starting season 1, episode 1, and watching all the way through because there's going to be so many clues in the later season.
Well, I did that after season 7, and I was
yeah.
like, you pick up so much in season 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you might actually pick up certain things that do interlink.
Oh, 100%, mate.
Which I'm going to try and do.
Yeah, because if actually touching on this, season 1, Robert Baratheon wants her dead, the Dragon Girl, right? He wants Dany dead, and I noticed Ned was quite against it. He doesn't make it very obvious, but he's conspiring with somebody else to kind of make sure that she doesn't die, because he knows she's related and linked in some way. Do you know what I mean? So it was clever how it was all planned out, but I do feel like it kind of.
Do you know, that's one character that I did actually, I wanted to progress, like a few more episodes, a few more seasons, if we could, have Sean Bean, Ned. I would have loved to have maybe seen him progress a bit more, see him a bit more before he got his
The difficulty is, obviously, that was George Martin's written story.
I know.
And I still know, I like the fact that they were just disappearing before you expected them to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whereas it was. Nothing really surprised me in the last.
It was such a good character, though. It was such a good character. Yes, obviously you've got to like go by the story and whatever, but it's such a good character.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor, and I would love to have seen more of him. But it wasn't meant to be.
Like, I mean, touching on them all the earlier seasons, right? I never expected the Red Wedding, and that's what really made me open my eyes to this season. Like, I was like, to kill off that many characters so quickly, and you in your head you could see where they were heading and stuff. For them just to end like that, and that's where I thought this is something else. This show. I didn't expect it was the little king who took over from after the one who jumped out the window.
Joffrey, yeah.
No, the one who jumped out the window. The one who came on after Joffrey.
Oh,
what's his face again? The younger king. He wasn't king for long.
Oh yes.
After they killed.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
What's his name?
I know what you mean.
I could
though.
Google it, but I can't be bothered. You know the one I mean. He just jumps out of a window.
Yeah.
Did not expect that. I remember sitting there going, he just jumped out of a window.
Where's he gone?
Yeah, like. However,
does he know he can't fly?
In season 7 and 8, not a single death happened where I went, never.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I was shocked when Dany got the jab, but I kind of expected it to come. It was going to be her or Jon. I kind of expected it.
I knew one of them.
It was not like something really kind of gone.
Well, through from start to finish, but apart. Well, no, I'll throw the Red Wedding in there. What would you say has been the most? Oh my God!
Red Wedding, easy,
definitely
easy.
Red Wedding. Yeah,
it's what sold me on it all.
Yeah.
Like
100% the Red Wedding. As Rick says, it ended so many stories that you had planned out. This is where we're going. This is where.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not quite sure, but we think we're going here.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, and it left you for the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Well.
Yeah.
You could never
like,
second guess.
Safe.
Yeah.
You was like there going, hang on, I really like this person, but I don't want to say out loud I like this person. Because if someone on HBO sat near me, they're going to, oh, really?
Yeah, genuinely.
He's out.
Tyrion could have been killed at any point.
Yeah.
And I liked him, and I was like, please don't kill him, all the way through, every single... I'm so surprised he made it through to the end, I'll be honest. I thought he'd signed his death warrant in the last one.
Yeah, I thought he was going this episode.
Yeah.
I did. I thought that he's end of the line.
And there's been so many bits previous where I thought, oh, this was the closest I think he actually got.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I didn't. Like, there would have been riots on the street if Tyrion had gone. Like,
but that's what we kind of expect from Game. That one would have shocked me a little bit. Apart from obviously up until that, because at the beginning of this season, I'd have thought he'd have been all right, but then towards the end, I thought he's gonna bite the dust.
Yeah.
But that's the one I'd have cared about probably the more.
Oh, I think the only one more shocking would have been Arya.
Right.
Even the likes of Sansa, I could kind of see her going, and especially after
the hell
that bit,
she's been through though. So.
I know, but it was that bit where she speaks to Dany in Winterfell, and Dany just pulls that smirky face, and you're like, she's gonna grow up here.
Yeah.
And you're like...
Jon did save her life by killing Dany, though. Like,
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
She would not have bent her knee to her.
No.
And it would have been more wars.
And I think that was the moment that it sank in for Jon.
Yeah, leaving
when
the room.
Tyrion said, what about your two sisters? And he was like, they'll be and he was like, there won't. And I think it was that moment that Jon went, do you know what, this isn't about me now. It's about them. And I think that was a bit... If Tyrion hadn't said that, it would have been different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Disappointment, Sam.
Okay.
So disappointed.
I liked his last scene where he's trying to put forward the idea of letting the people
force.
vote.
Yeah.
I did like that.
I like that. But
okay,
and
why?
There wasn't really much involved, was he? He hasn't
Exactly.
He was always a side character, though.
he was,
He wa-
however...
Yeah, I'll give you that, but...
It was when he went off and started learning all the thing. He cured the grayscale.
Yeah, that was quite
All
much,
that,
I
and
thought.
you're kind of like, oh, hang on, he's gonna. Then he started finding out the true identity of Jon Snow, and you're like, he's gonna play a major part here. And going into the season, I was like, he's got something that he's gonna throw in this season, barring the who's Jon, because we kind of knew that he knew. That's gonna throw a massive curveball out there. And then he went, oh yeah, I know you are, Jon. And you're like, right. And then he kind of disappeared until that last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it, they've all been...
Even in the battle for Winterfell, he just kind of... He got one
Just
of them
about to
killed
mention
and
that.
was-
Just about to mention that. There was kind of no involvement in that scene either. It like you say, he was there for a matter of seconds, if that. And, just basically carried on around him. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll give you that. That was quite a disappointment.
I kind of get him not featuring heavily in Winterfell. He's not a fighting character. If Brienne hadn't featured in fighting Winterfell, you kind of go, hang on. The whole reason she's there is to fight and kill people. He's not a fighting character. I kind of get that. But, yeah, I just feel he's been...
Sidelined too much.
Yeah, it goes back to this whole rush.
Yeah.
There could have been more character development.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be a whole story of him, but like a few more bits and pieces about him, what he's learned and stuff
I agree.
in this season.
Yep, I
and
agree.
just my interaction with him and Jon and stuff, they didn't seem close anymore. It was kind of very...
There was that one scene, wasn't there?
Yeah, saying bye, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do we get to see his kid?
No.
I mean, we don't get to see any of that, don't we?
Well,
Like his
we
wife. I mean, we got to see her a few
We
times.
saw Gillian.
And she's
Little
pregnant
Sam.
again, isn't she?
Yeah. We saw Gillian Little Sam in Winterfell in the crypt.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Where were they
that's
off to
right.
at the end of that?
Where?
At the end of the battle, they said goodbye to Sam, didn't they? And they were off somewhere to stay safe.
No, that was John leaving, wasn't it?
Right, okay, yeah.
John
right,
was leaving to go to King's Landing to
that's right.
fight that battle.
That's right, yeah, sorry. But, yeah. At the moment, I'm quite content with that episode, but I think I'm going to pick a lot of holes in it probably over a few.
Yeah.
I wanted more.
I mean,
definitely wanted more.
We'll talk about it in the next podcast when it's all sank in a bit and we've heard everyone else's ideas and stuff like that. Because some people will say stuff and I'm like, you're right, that could have...
For me, it's kind of ended in a really good place. Not that about who's on the throne and stuff, but the way they've ended it.
I thought it'd have been worse. I expected it to be not a particularly good ending. Everyone kept repeating that quote from that horrible little prick who got fed to the hounds when he said, "This is not going to be the way." Yeah, Ramsay Bolton. This is, if you think this is going to end, it's a happy ending or something, and you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah,
and that stayed with me. Yeah. From the moment he said that, I was like, "That's a hint to the final." That's and so I was kind of expecting something, some gut punching. No, I didn't get
me,
that.
if you were wanting in that final episode a big, oh my god, like who's it going to be? It's going to be, and then there's going to be a fight out, and there's going to be so and so, and there's going to be secrets. That last episode was awful for you.
Yeah.
For me, the story was there. the actiony bit was there with the Jon and Danny bit. Granted, it wasn't like a full like sword fight. It was a bit of like on your edge. Like I sat and held my breath, going,
Was he going to get...
wow.
Yeah.
I expected him to get scorched by the dragon and then him be stood there naked. Thinking,
but
like,
Drogon would know obviously that he's
Targaryen.
Targaryen, doesn't he? Because he let him in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think how they've ended it, and I like the way they've ended it, and that the Starks have now all split up. So Bran's ruling the now 6 kingdoms. Sansa's looking after.
She's now
Winterfell.
queen, which is what I put in my...
I had, but granted not to be queen of the North, but to be alright. And Arya's off doing Arya things. Arya the Explorer, and
the amount of people who thought she was going to be on the throne, I was like, she said from the beginning she's not interested, didn't want it. That's why I didn't think Bran would be on the throne, because he said he wasn't interested. When they said you're Lord of Winterfell, he's like, I'm not Lord of anything anymore.
Well, he's kind of on the throne all the time, isn't he? Unfortunately.
But wow. But that whole Lord of Winterfell thing, is that because he's seen that he's going to be...
It must be a pain in the ass moving around King's Landing now with rubble everywhere in a wheelchair.
Proper pain in
no
the
access to
Yeah,
anything.
but think about disability rights in King's Landing now.
He'll get that
Ramps
sorted.
everywhere.
Yeah.
He's on a wooden...
Ramps everywhere.
He's on a
There will
wooden
not be
block
a single
24/7.
step in that city.
Either that or Pod's got it on his back now.
Where's Hodor?
Pod's a
when you
new
need him?
Hodor. Hold on, Pod.
They'll get rid of doors because they're not going to get this way, aren't they?
Proper
Turn
pain,
around. Boom, yeah. Oh, yeah, Pod.
proper pain in the ass.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, no. Yeah, so for me, like, the end of it, I thought it's great.
Yeah.
Like, while I've got
Bit
so
Lord
many
of the
questions...
Ringsy.
Yes. Drop that.
When they're getting on the ship
exactly
and
what
stuff.
I was thinking.
And they're all stood on the pier. And I'm like, that's very Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings.
Yeah, but I loved it. I loved that ending.
John, you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. I did enjoy it. I was expecting a bit more...
Boobs? There was no boobs in the final episode.
Another
Come on.
letdown. Another
That's
letdown.
awesome.
Yes,
been
yes,
on
I'll
last
give you
season.
that.
Oh.
But I was expecting a bit more
That's why
of
I'm
an...
rewatching the start.
Snap.
Get me caught.
A bit more of an actiony sort of sequence towards like the build up. But no, I think it done well. I mean, what would you, Graeme? What would you sum up that particular episode? None of this in one word.
Oh, jeez, that's a question.
In
one word.
In one word. Okay, a couple of needs.
That's hard because there is so many emotions you feel through it, and even at the end, while I'm content with the episode, I'm not content with
other elements.
Other elements of it.
That's one word I'm actually thinking of is content. I'm content with it. I'm not overly getting. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I'm content.
You didn't blow me away.
It didn't blow me away. I wanted that little. Come on, but I'm content with it. I'll come back to you. Hang on, before we go any further. Go on. What would you say?
I'd say the same. I think, I'm happy, but not blown away. Like, I compare it. If I'm going to compare it to something which is similar-ish, and I know you two haven't seen it, but Endgame, that's 10 years of films built leading up to something.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, I was like, I couldn't be happier with the way that played out. So I compare that to that, and Game of Thrones falls short quite a bit. Very different type of entertainment, but they did it right. Whereas I think they did it right because none of it was rushed. It was always planned out all the way along to that. And this, I think they've just kind of jumped a lot of bits and kind of gone, right, we need to get here, do this.
What I'd like to look at is, and we'll never get to see this detail, but I'd like to know at what point, which writers that wrote this season helped write plot lines earlier on.
Right, okay. Because a lot of criticism is the writing after the books had finished and stuff. But then the two writers who have been working on this have done from the very beginning. It's always been the same writers, along with George kind of in the background.
Once George Martin's material dried up as it was, then you kind of go, okay, it's gonna change drastically. You kind of accept that, and I think the way they did a lot of things was really good. And as we kept saying, it's the whole timing thing. It's the whole timing thing. we could have had so much more into this season, got one more season out of it, possibly two, to kind of go, do you know what? That's do you know what? And if we dragged out more and got in there what we want, and those 6 episodes worth, 10 hours of screen time.
Well, this could have at least been 10 episodes then or something.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Even something
that,
as simple as that.
Even that. You kind of go, do you know what? Like, my kind of content rating would be happy because you kind of go, okay, that's tied up those stories. Now I get they can't tie up those stories that lead to fan theories. Until
and then their fan theories don't turn up until that episode's aired and stuff. And
totally.
Then, I bet the writers have sat back and going, you know what, that was a bloody good idea. We should have maybe done that.
Yeah, but like, why not have another episode after the death of Danny?
Yeah. To
tie a few loose ends up.
Yeah.
So you don't rush from Danny's dead, Bran's on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Danny's dead. Bit of content in there. Another episode's worth of content in there. Yeah. Tying up some loose ends. Let's learn more about Bran. Let's learn more about Arya's mission. What I would love to have seen is in that episode, Arya finds the Hound's body. Yeah. Now I get it, it's under rubble and stuff like that, and there's all burns.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
How emotional would that have been if Arya's looking?
It was a nice scene when she said bye to him, and I think that might have been enough. But I get what you mean. Like
totally.
I think
just a confirmation of, you're dead. Yeah. She knew he was dead. Yeah. But just that confirmation.
There were some great partnerships in there, like you say, with Arya and the Hound. You had Jamie and Brienne.
Yeah.
You had I've gone blank.
Tormund and the bear.
Oh. You had
Joffrey and his crossbow.
Yeah.
Joffrey and his crossbow.
I think
that's a good. Yeah, you had some real good partnerships in there.
The earlier seasons, when a big event happened, I'd look forward to the next episode just to hear how the characters interact about talking about it.
Yes.
You didn't get that with this. They just ignored everything.
And that's it. That goes back to the thing there. If Danny dies at the end of tonight's episode, and then there's another one before we find out who's on the throne.
Yeah,
there's so much more. There's so much more reaction you can draw with that. There's so much more end you can tie up with that. And I think you go, everyone goes, oh my god, Danny's dead. Like, who's it actually going to? Okay,
it might have been lacking in a big event though for that final episode, and it would have been.
But you can still throw a twist in there.
Yeah, well,
in the questions that we want answered, do you think they could actually do it with a movie?
No.
No.
There's not enough unanswered stuff that's linear. If you did a movie like that, it would be like taking bits of different Avengers films and putting them into kind of.
It would be difficult.
Years behind with Avengers, I am, but
you're not the only one.
There must be bits in Avengers films where you go, actually, what happened here? What? Whereas if you pull all that information, in fact, look at any series of TV shows or films.
Scaringly though, like there isn't many for Avengers. They've done that so well, and there was so much fan service in that last one.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like I gave that a 5 out of 5, and I can't see how else they could have done any better than they did in that. And there's some and I just think I don't know. It's maybe wrong to compare it to that with it being a TV show and things, but. I don't know, but as a franchise, like I have never enjoyed a TV show as much as I've enjoyed this. And it's clear to see with all the fan theories and stuff that come out, and some being better than the writers' work, like how much it's like affected people. Everyone at work's watching it. I've never known so many people getting in one show in my life. It's amazing.
I mean, to actually try and avoid spoilers today was it was just diabolical. I was borderline going to murder somebody. Somebody in front of me started talking about it, saying it's a Game of Thrones finale. Did you watch it? And straight away, it was about 4:25, and I thought, I've got 5 minutes to go. And you're starting to talk about Game of Thrones. So I went in the kitchen and actually took the cup out of the dishwasher. I thought, there's no way, absolutely no way it's going to spoil it.
You will get sacked if you speak one more word. I even have my manager's as much into it as I am, and he's the same. He's like, if anyone talks about it, it came up in comms. He was like, if anyone talks about it, like, you will. Do you know what I mean? All your holidays are cancelled. Like, don't ruin it. There is a lot of dicks out there who've been up to that. So.
And where we sit, we've got frontline advisors near us, and they're like loosely like there was 4 of them who sat up together last night and watched it. Yeah. And then they come in and they're talking about it and like, no, guys, One, shut up, or you're taking every call I can possibly give you.
Oh, if I could have watched it at 2 o'clock in the morning, I would have done.
Yeah,
But I'm at work.
I would have. But, yeah, exactly. I was at work at 6:30 this morning. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to stay up until 3:30 to then go back to bed. But I'm like, I'd have been sat for those 2 hours going, oh my God, what? Like, this could have happened. This could have happened. Who's awake? Who can I talk? And nobody. And I'd have stewed and festered, and it's awful.
There's something about doing it though, like we have tonight, where it's just us three, we just sat there and watching it with a group of people, and then being able to gas about it like this at the end of it. And we're not gonna. What are we gonna do now? Like
new series.
Right? Okay, we need to find something that we're all gonna watch, and we can. I don't think I'll ever live through something like this again. This has been one hell of an entertainment.
Yeah, it has.
Boom.
I mean, I've seen some series. Daredevil was fantastic on Netflix.
Yeah,
there's been some other good series as well, but nothing
this is blended,
really I can think of that is actually compared to
blended
this.
Hollywood and stuff.
Totally.
The amount of money that I've spent on the episodes and stuff, it's become huge events. It's something a bit more than a TV show, in my opinion.
But what I like about it as well, they haven't actually gone to like vast locations. They've kept it like local sometimes. Dublin.
Well, it's mainly filmed in Ireland. Isn't it?
They've kept it on like quite local locations because I mean, don't get us wrong. I mean, localized locations does actually give you some pretty decent destination, pretty decent pictures for what they need it for.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked as well. They didn't have to go to I don't know, like the depths of the Far East or whatever, and things like that. They found some nice spots that we have to offer, and they've done well.
I think Danny made a mistake. She should have stayed over in the nice warm deserts and stuff. Why would you come over there? Like, as soon as I found them White Walker dudes, I'd be like, I'll see you later, guys. She could have buggered off. Let them fight it. Come over and take it after that.
But this is it. There's so many. Like, you can go back now, and as you go back and rewatch it, you're like, don't do that, because and you think you'll sit there and go, do you know what? If you don't do this, where do you go? Like, there's going to be so many things where, like, if the Red Wedding doesn't happen, what happens? Like, you're like, oh my God. Like, you could literally remake 8 seasons
based on one slightly different event.
No, you're not far
Be
wrong.
that Robert Baratheon not getting killed by the pig.
Yeah.
It's far back as that.
Yeah.
Like, if he hadn't been killed by the pig, what happens? Robert Baratheon stays in charge. Gendry makes more of a thing.
Yeah. The problem is, they weren't really dictators that Danny took off the throne.
No.
The people seemed alright. Everyone was living alright in King's Landing, weren't they? As far as I could tell.
They were, but it's under a regime, isn't it? It's like, that's like saying...
but it is.
That's like saying... it's a horrible, horrible analogy. But it's like saying people were happy living under Hitler.
Yeah, well, the Germans, a lot of them probably were.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of them in King's Landing were. However, a lot of them weren't. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's that kind of...
Brilliant.
It's that kind of thing, isn't it? It's that regime, it's that tyranny. And...
They didn't really build on that, though.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
No.
But that's what... we're near the end now, but one thing I noticed is that when you get that blend of who's good and who's bad in the episode 5, when Jon realises it, he's looking around and he's like, hang on, we're kind of the bad. There isn't a bad or good. War doesn't have a good and a bad. I'd have liked it.
Well,
it doesn't. It depends on whichever side you're fighting for is the good and whichever.
Side. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then you see the Lannisters as if you think, hang on a minute, they're just fighting for their families and stuff like that. There, and then Jon's army are trying to rape the women, and it's like, hang on a minute, everyone's equal. We're all the same, and you're just fighting over nothing. And I quite like that. I like that.
It's stuff like that makes it more personal and makes you more empathetic with those characters. Makes you more drawn into it.
Yeah, and then when the throne melting.
Yeah.
Really, the throne means nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
None of this should even be happening. What are we fighting for? Exactly. We're all the same people. That's what Winter should have brought everyone together. Like, there was a clear good v bad there, and I still think that was a missed opportunity. Winter. I'll always will. But anyway.
I'll tell you what I found impressive as well was the characters themselves. Peter Dinklage is American. Look at his accent.
Yeah, he's incredible in this.
Yeah.
Incredible. The Unsullied commander, he's American. Look at his accent. What's his name? Bearded guy stood up at the end on the decking.
On the decking.
Yes, he's Northern Ireland. He speaks with like I think a Yorkshire accent, doesn't he?
Geordie's from Ireland, isn't he?
The Hound. He's Scottish.
Yeah.
And look at the look at the accent.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is they've picked off a cast who have actually pulled off 10
and some
seasons.
of them you've grown up with.
Yeah.
Aria, like by the end of it.
Let's not talk about this, otherwise I feel bad about my current feelings towards
8 seasons.
Yeah.
When she's crying at the end and stuff, like she's an incredible actress, and you've seen her as a little kid before. She was an actress then, but like how she's just become.
Yeah.
So for me, and I had this conversation the other day at work, is you look back to that first season, right? HBO spent their monies on the likes of the Sean Beans.
Yeah.
I think if you look at spendings, Sean Bean was one of the biggest. So they had to bring in the Kit Haringtons, who kind of been a couple of things. Maisie Williams never been
clever, really.
Sophie Turner.
It was clever.
But look at them now.
Use a massive name to pull people.
They've made their future now. They've made their future.
Like I reckon if you looked at the spending that first season and actors, Sean Bean, Peter Dinklage, and probably even Jerome Flynn.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't in there, was he? But those kind of names, household names.
He was one of my favourites, actually.
Yeah.
Were the ones that took the money, and that's why you had to bring in the likes of, like, without Game of Thrones, where's Maisie Williams? You don't know her. But she's been brought in on probably a pittance and brought up on a. I mean, it's not in a pittance in now, but
you'd watch a spin-off, wouldn't you?
Oh, amen to that. Any kind of spin-off, whether it be on whatever dodgy websites I know.
There's plenty of lucky likeys out there you could find.
But no, they have actually they've picked some fantastic characters.
It was brilliant cast.
Absolutely fantastic characters who pulled off, just amazing roles throughout the seasons.
Yeah. It would be really interesting if you get a photo of everybody who starred in it together.
That'd be ridiculous.
It'd be like that Simpsons photo. Yeah. You know that Simpsons photo where it's everyone who's ever been drawing.
Didn't they do that on a T-shirt? Haven't they done that on a T-shirt? I'm sure that there's a picture of Jon Snow holding up a T-shirt with everybody in it.
Oh,
I don't know if everybody was in it.
Just like everyone.
Yeah, well, that's it. And you're forgetting like even like the Joffreys and the Ramsays, like their characters I've never hated more in my life.
Yeah.
But I loved hating them.
Yeah.
Joffrey, man, going through them seasons. My God, like
I wanted to kill him.
Played that role so well.
I wanted to kill him.
Yeah. And you forget about characters like that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Lady Alina, what a woman she was.
Yeah.
Like at the time, you kind of go,
I'll never forget that scream.
Yeah. You're like, what's the use? And then you just see it, and you're like, what? She's playing a major part here. You look back last season before, you go and go, what's she here for? Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And it's unreal. There's so many characters that when you rewatch it, you go, oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah. I forgot about them.
Could have done with them in the last season, and
could have done with Melisandre sticking around a bit longer. I don't know. Like honestly, like it's emotional. I think people are going to be emotional. Like looking back now, going, that's 10 years. Some people watched it from the day season 1, episode 1 aired.
Yeah,
10 years.
Yeah. No, I joined season 4, I think.
Yeah, I joined season 4.
I think I joined season 7.
Yeah. A few times when, thanks to me, I forced you to, and Dean. There was times when my ex Charlotte, when we were watching it, she was like, "I'm never watching it again." After certain characters died and stuff, but then there they are. They've come. They have to watch it, keep going, and it's just
everyone has done that at some point. Yeah. Oh my God, that's right. It's like even
when he didn't say goodbye to Ghost in the other episode, I was like, I'm not watching this anymore.
What's the point? Doesn't care.
What an asshole.
Tom's going to go and have his way with it.
So both of you, see from start to finish, how would you sum it up? Couple of words.
It is the pinnacle of TV, and I think it could be potentially a long time until we get something again. But this is what all TV shows should aim for.
Totally.
It blurred the line between Hollywood and home entertainment.
Yeah.
And now shows can do that. Like, I hope we get a lot more. It's so hard to build up that audience and get that kind of thing. And the fact that it had an end, like, you know, like Walking Dead, just kind of Miranda, like it's not really leading anywhere. Whereas, and it kind of needs to have that. They need to be looking for that cure or something. Otherwise, you know, you lose interest. Whereas we knew this was going to end with someone sitting on that throne at the end. So it kept you interested, and it had stakes and stuff. So,
Graeme, how would you say it?
Summing up the whole thing: emotional, roller coaster. It draws you in like
shocking.
Nothing. Yeah, shocking.
Oh, some of the popping of the eyes.
Yeah,
the head.
Oh yeah.
Like, I genuinely, like, so many people have gone, oh my god, I hate it because of this season.
Yeah.
Don't.
No.
Look at this season in the 8-season picture.
Yeah.
This is 10 hours of screen time over 100 hours.
Yeah.
It's a 10% of it.
Yeah.
And it's meant to, as much as I get annoyed that there's so many endings that it could be, it's meant to. Otherwise you go, right, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and you're done. Ta-ra. I'm not even watching the end of the season.
Yeah, we're forgetting we actually got an ending. A lot of TV shows nowadays just kind of lose the audience and then they just stop and you don't get you don't find out what happens. Well, at least we know. And I'm like you say, I'm content with that. Wasn't blown away by the end of it, but for everything it's done over the last 8 years,
10 years.
Because we had a 2-year gap, didn't we, between last season?
Oh, so
but for us watching it, it was 9 years.
8 years.
Yeah,
8 years.
With that gap. I loved it. Gonna miss it.
I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. What do we do now, lads?
Wait for the prequel. Wait for
spin-offs.
Maybe
Eye of the Explorer.
Spin-off. Yeah, that's right.
Please mock that up, will you?
Yeah. With a little backpack on.
Little backpack on.
Okay, I'll
swipe and all swiping.
That'll be fun. That'll be done already, I guarantee. You got a load of Dora the Explorers.
Where's
for
Boots?
the other fella who went off to try and get his dragon scales fixed. Did a load of people.
Yeah.
What was he called? Dora, wasn't he? Jorah the Explorer.
Yes, that was Dora.
The manly name. Jorah the Explorer. But excellent. Yep.
Unreal, honestly,
Amazing, unpredictable, exciting, great.
That's just a night with me. What did you think of Game of Thrones?
He was really out there. So
Game of Thrones was shit.
We will probably touch on this in the next podcast that we do. But you can follow us on Twitter at popcorn_media. Find us on Facebook under Popcornography. Find us on Instagram under Popcornography. We're everywhere.
I'm eating popcorn, lovely.
And we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. How do you end a podcast like this? It's like, the noise of some swords, kind of dragon roaring, something. Nitro gone.
I'd say popcorn.
Oh, the way he took her.
I thought, you know what I thought he was going to do?
He's going to have his
drop her in the sea.
Joe, I reckon he's gone back to that. You know where he disappeared before in one of the seasons, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He sat on a nest. He's sitting out there.
I thought he was honestly going to drop in the sea. I don't know why.
In the sea.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.